he tried his best. My prayer is that God will forgive him of his inadequacies and accept him into his kingdom. It's a loss to the nation, because at a time like this, we need the totality of the experience and what I may call statesmanship of all those who have had opportunity to run the affairs of this country in the past to get us out of the situation we are in. He will be sorely missed, and may his soul rest in peace.
All right, the former president there between 1999 and 2007, in the person of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, saying that former President Muhammadu Buhari will be sorely missed, and praying that his soul rests in peace. Also, former military head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar, says he was in the same hospital with Muhammadu Buhari in London before his death. Wow, what a revelation. Reflecting on their decade-long relationship, Abdulsalami said his bond with Buhari dated back to 1962, when they both joined the Nigerian military. Abdulsalami Abubakar.
Unfortunately, we were in the same hospital together, but I have been discharged. So when I heard the news of his passing away, I quickly went there to condole with the family and see what can be done in order to get him ready, to get the corpse ready to be taken home.
Talk to me about the man, your relationship with him, when you met him, your fond memories of him.
Well, my relationship with General Buhari went back to as far back as 1962. We joined the military. He was my senior, and during the unfortunate civil war, we were fighting in the same sector with him. General Buhari is a gentleman who is very quiet, but exceptionally honest. You can trust Buhari with anything on this earth, and he will not betray you. During his tenure as a military officer, you have seen how he has tried to fight corruption, and also he established war against indiscipline in order to make us Nigerians behave the way the civilized world behaves. He introduced the war against indiscipline, and Nigeria was cleaner and more respectful during that tenure. Unfortunately, we lost those values that he tried to inculcate in Nigerians. When he became the democratic president, again, he tried his best to make sure that he fights corruption. Unfortunately, most of the officers, some of the officers who served with him are found wanting. They didn't do as much as is expected of them. So may he rest in peace. Well, certainly his death has been a big blow to Nigeria. President Tinubu has asked the vice president to come so that he can escort the body. This shows you the magnitude that has befallen Nigeria. With the passing away of President Buhari, politics in Nigeria will certainly change. I hope for the better.
All right, we'll still be discussing about this London clinic and the whole hullabaloo around it. But Katsina State Governor Dikko Rada announced the burial arrangements for Nigeria's former president, Muhammadu Buhari, who passed away on Sunday in a hospital in London. That's the London clinic. At a press briefing yesterday, the Katsina governor said following consultations with the late president's family and close associates in London, it has been agreed that the remains of former leader would arrive in Katsina today, July 15, 2025, by noon. He disclosed that the burial will take place in Daura, the hometown of the late president, by 2 p.m. today. Let's get to listen to Governor Dikko Rada of Katsina State.
I wish to announce the burial arrangement for our father, the late president Muhammadu Buhari, who passed out yesterday in a hospital in London. And we have made consultation with the family, and we have made consultation with the people around him in London. And we concluded that the body will arrive Katsina tomorrow, inshallah, by about 12 noon. And the burial is going to take place in Daura about 2 p.m. So these are the arrangements in place. And we pray to Almighty Allah to grant his soul peace. And may Allah grant him Al-Jannah Firdaus. And may Allah bring them to Katsina in peace. And on behalf of myself and the government and the people of Katsina State, we condole the family, and we also condole the people of Nigeria. Especially, we also want to condole His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces of Nigeria over the demise of his predecessor, General Muhammadu Buhari. May Almighty Allah bless him and give us the fortitude to bear the loss.
All right, that's the governor of Katsina State there, well, Governor Rada speaking there, telling us about the burial arrangements. He spoke yesterday. However, as we speak today, well, we're getting reports that the flight is landing in Nigeria soon. And, well, Mr. President, that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will be meeting with the family and will also take part in the burial ceremony today. He will be meeting them in Daura today. That's according to the reports we're getting now. Joining me this morning, John Izuchukwu. John, good morning, and good to have you here.
Yeah, Chike, good morning. It's my pleasure.
Well, we still have series of people condoling with the family of the former president and even Nigerians. Reactions here and there, even on social media. There's so many squalid statements on social media by so many people, you know, very unpleasant comments. But you don't talk ill about the dead. That's the saying. But we still see so many Nigerians still being hurt. But that's not even the issue now. The main issue now is it is London Clinic, not the London Hospital, London Clinic. And then we have, you heard the former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, saying that he was admitted in the same hospital at the same time with former President Muhammadu Buhari, but he was discharged, but Buhari didn't make it. Now, what is it with this London hospital? Is it that our hospitals are not befitting enough for our past presidents? Is it that they don't have trust in hospitals here in Nigeria, that they had to resort to a clinic abroad, not even a hospital? And then reports reaching me as yesterday said the London clinic, the fee there is about £2,000 per night. And £2,000, you know what it means in Nigerian currency when you multiply by 2,200 naira or 2,000 naira, you find out that £2,000 per night is really, really outrageous taxpayers' funds.
Yeah, well, Chike, thank you. First of all, you see that we condole with the president's family, with the people of Daura and the entire nation for the demise of our former leader. He did his bit, like Chief Obasanjo just said. It's unfortunate that he could not bring the much desired change, which was a mantra on which he rode into power for the people of Nigeria to experience. However, that's what we call post-colonial activities. We are still attached to our colonial master. Okay. We still use their institutions. We still use their facilities. And because they know that we have the money and we don't care how we spend the money. And so they open their doors for us to come in and lavish our taxpayers' money there. It's unfortunate that a statement like, let me use the word statement in context, because there are what makes for a statement, like our former head of state, Salami Abubakar. You cannot, be talking about you visiting the London clinic with no recourse, saying it as if it's the right thing to be done. When I saw a list of 10 best hospitals in Africa, and unfortunately, Nigeria has no one in that list. This is a country that prides itself as the giant of the continent. This is a country that has some of the best surgeons in the United States. This is a country where private individuals have very thriving medical facilities and medical businesses outside of the country. But unfortunately for us, we do not have a functional hospital for our leaders. So it tells you the kind of mindset our leaders have, that they prefer to reduce their own medical facilities to a kitchen because they don't care. They have the money to go treat themselves where it matters. And then the downtrodden will now visit the ones that are ill-equipped, and so they go there to die. So it's unfortunate, but that's where we have found ourselves, that as a country, we don't have visionary leaders that can, build. It's not a rocket science to build a thriving, a functional medical facilities across this country. It's not rocket science. And let me tell you that we have the best hands around the world. I know medical practitioners who are Nigerians, Nigerian Americans who are sought after in the United States. They are sought after in John Hopkins, and most of the best medical, outfit in the US. They are the ones there managing it, heading the places. So why is it that we cannot build the same and bring some of these our best brains to come and build it? Is there a curse
that we can't do it right or get it right?
No. Again and again, Chike, as much as we want to make excuses for the impact or the effect or the continual ungodly relationship that Britain continue to have with us, because it's becoming what we call wicked problem, something too complex to resolve easily. You can't, it doesn't make sense to a Gen Z that in this age and time, we cannot build a medical facility that is of standard, that people can leave Lomé, leave Ghana, leave Sierra Leone, and say, let's go to Nigeria for medical, attention.
Even the doctors are escaping.
Which will attract more, more like a medical tourism.
But the doctors are escaping.
It's because for how many months in Ibadan here, the University Hospital of Ibadan had no light.
University College
had no light. People were using torchlight and phones and thereabout to, so just imagine
in an acclaimed world-class hospital.
Go there, the facility does it look like a serious hospital if you go there? It doesn't look like. So it just tells you our mindset towards what appears to be the fundamentals of measuring development, health.
Well, Idris Abdul Karim, renowned musician, says, show empathy if you want sympathy in death. Well, many comments there squalid, so so pleasant words there from some celebrities and all that. Kate Henshaw is saying nothing did this life, and we have so many celebrities, reacting. I saw the video of Tasha. I don't know, not Tasha. DJ. I'm trying to remember her name now. No, I'm trying to remember her name now. This lady who was in the front burner of the NSAS this thing, and where she was lamenting bitterly, and she was saying some unpredictable words,
Yeah, because the government almost sent her on exile. It was under Buhari that the young Nigerians were killed, massacred in a very gruesome manner at Lekki that day. It's one of the black days, and unfortunately, you see, we don't even remember it because the lives of Nigerians don't matter to the political elite. That was a black day for Nigeria, and then today is gone forever. And so you want us to keep, hailing. That's why I have said again and again, we must be objective as a people. Check American history. They have documented the bad, the good, the ugly of their leaders. You don't present one-side story to a generation. You're going to cause confusion. You're going to make us think it's all rosy. Let's tell the whole truth the way it is. People can make meaning from what they have. So Mr. Buhari, late Mr. Buhari, could have been a good father, a good husband, a good uncle, and a good brother. But when it comes to putting him in the global standard of leadership, you cannot tell me that he's the best we should have. He's done his bit, we acknowledge, but his bit has not brought us any development. And so we must acknowledge that he's done well for himself, for his family, maybe for his clan. But when you say about him being our president, I think there is much left to be desired about the way around this country.
Did you follow what Aisha Yesufu said? She came up with her own thoughts on this whole issue, and it wasn't really a good one. There, well, I'll still come back to her there, where she talked about the Buhari government, and then where the whole thing came up. But let's move on to another story. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has said he is open to dialogue with those protesting the renaming of the Polytechnic Ibadan to Omololu Olunloyo Polytechnic, declaring his readiness to yield to a superior argument. His remarks came in response to protests by students and the Alumni Association of the state-owned institution against the name change. During the official inauguration of the governing boards for 5 state-owned tertiary institutions at the executive chamber of the governor's office on Friday, Makinde acknowledged the emotional attachment many have to the original name. He, however, emphasized that policy decisions should be driven by merit, not sentiments. Let's get to listen to Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State.
Is to say one thing or the other about the controversy regarding the naming of the Polytechnic Ibadan after Dr. Omololu Olunloyo, the former governor of Oyo State. Well, the Baba, according to the record available to us, he was also the first rector of the Polytechnic Ibadan. So what it means is that they must have handed over to him maybe some buildings and a plain sheet of paper, that would make this happen. So he must have done his part. I've had, especially the alumni and the current student union body, well, they call that the student union government of Polytechnic Ibadan. I don't want to. I stopped listening to Fela's music
All right, there, Engineer Seyi Makinde, Governor of Oyo State, speaking there. Well, I guess we're still having some little technical issue there, but you'll get to listen to the full speech by the governor there at the stakeholders meeting. Well, joining us this morning is the President, Alumni, the Polytechnic Ibadan chapter. That's Adigun Ajetola. Join us via Zoom this morning to discuss two key issues from the governor's speech this morning. Right. Good morning. It's good to have you join us on the agenda this morning, Comrade Adigun Ajetola. All right.
Student union body.
Okay.
Well, they call that.
Okay. We're still trying to. I was trying to establish connection with the president, alumni, the Polytechnic Ibadan. Let's get back to Engineer Seyi Makinde's discussion with stakeholders, even with the alumni body at the council chambers and the Oyo State government office on Friday. Let's get to listen to Engineer Seyi Makinde.
One thing or the other about the controversy regarding the naming of the Polytechnic Ibadan after Dr. Omoloju Olunloyo, the former governor of Oyo State. Well, the Baba, according to the record available to us, he was also the first rector of the Polytechnic Ibadan. So what it means is that they must have handed over to him maybe some buildings and a plain sheet of paper, you know, that make this happen. So he must have done his part. I've had, especially the alumni and the current student union body, well, they call that the student union government of Polytechnic Ibadan. I don't want to. I stopped listening to Fela's music some years back. I don't want to go back, but it looks like they will make me go back to listening to Fela's music again. I saw a full-page advert in the newspaper by the alumni of the Polytechnic Ibadan. And I thought to myself, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I've not paid personal attention to the Polytechnic Ibadan. To place a full-page advert in the Punch newspaper, it should be close to 1 million naira. I've been looking for projects initiated by the Alumni Association of the Polytechnic Ibadan, so that I can compare whether, you know, putting the one-page advert has actually demonstrated commitment to improving the quality of education in that institution. Yes, if some of our ESCO members may remember, we argued about the name of Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. So somewhere along the line, the pro-chancellor came to me and said, look, yes, this university was founded to offer only technical education. That was why the name was the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. But they were seeking for approval then to allow them to offer other courses in humanities and all of that. Then we said, okay, go ahead. We want to.
All right, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State speaking there and raising some fundamental questions which will be addressed this morning by the president alumni of the Polytechnic Ibadan chapter this morning, the person of Adigun Ajetola there. Well, we have this key issues. Okay, good morning, comrade. It's good to have you join us on the agenda this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the honor.
All right. Quick one. I know you are not, you might just be on the road now, but just pulled over to grant this interview. Thank you thank you for that honor too. All right.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
All right. If you can hear me, we can hear you. I can hear you. All right, are you there? So I go ahead.
Hello.
Okay, we might just need to reestablish contact with the president of the alumni body, the Polytechnic Ibadan chapter this morning. All right, John Izuchukwu, you've been listening to, you listened to the governor speak. He raised some fundamental issues. And then, are you seeing him as someone who might rescind his decision or maybe change his mind to return the name of that institution to status quo?
I don't think so. Like I've argued again and again, that the change of name is just a mere nomenclature. It does not affect the content of what is delivered. We have emotional attachment to that name, but again, I have argued also that when you look at the values and the ideals that late Dr. Omololu Olunloyo stands for, what do we gain from it? We want to tell our young people when they ask tomorrow, who is Dr. Omololu Olunloyo? We say such a man who was an intelligent man. He was a brilliant scholar. He was a hardworking person. He was a man of integrity. He lived a very modest life. He had opportunity, and indeed he contributed to the development of the old Western region and even Oyo State within the time allotted to him by fate. So we must, know that. Just like the president, the governor also said, before the question he asked the alumni body is a very fundamental question.
So one of the questions he asked is, the alumni body should show a receipt of what they have done, what projects they have executed to give them the right to challenge the state on the renaming.
Well, let me not. I think that I want to reframe it. Okay. I think he's just saying that I acknowledge that you guys you want me to change the name, to reverse it to what it used to be. But then, you as an alumni body, what have you done over the years in terms of, making what is done in the Ibadan Polytechnic better in terms of education, in terms of even fighting cultism, in terms of even welfare of students? Okay. There are several projects you could do.
Okay, so let's get back to our guest. Now we establish connection with our guest in the person of Adigun Ajetola, who is the president alumni of alumni body, the Polytechnic Ibadan chapter this morning. All right, Comrade Adigun Ajetola, it's good to have you join us on the agenda this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the honor.
All right. Yes. You were part. Were you part of the? Let's establish this. Were you part of the meeting with the executive governor of Oyo State on Friday?
I wasn't.
All right.
That was the inaugural meeting for the Governing Council Board.
Okay, so quick one. The governor asked two key questions, and one was direct and one was indirect, as it were. Well, one of the questions is that the alumni body should show a receipt of what they have done, what projects they have executed, to give them the right to challenge the state on the renaming, saying that he saw an advert placed on the Punch newspaper, a full-page advert by the alumni. So if they could spend such an amount of money, then they should come up with projects they've executed to give them the right to challenge the state on the renaming. Let's tackle this question first before we go to the second one. So what has the alumni done so far as far project-wise to even justify their actions against the change of nomenclature and retaining the Polytechnic Ibadan as the status quo?
Thank you very much. Let me try and correct my name. My name is Adigun Ajetola.
Yeah.
If you like to be the chairman, not president, chairman at the Polytechnic Ibadan alumni chapter. Let me appreciate His Excellency for even giving audience. For His Excellency to say that, I think that means he's a listening governor. He listened to the yearnings of the alumni of the Polytechnic Ibadan. I sincerely appreciate him for saying he's given to a dialogue. But in all sincerity, I'm not here to do a tete with the governor. I'm not. Who am I to do that? But I even want to appreciate him. His Excellency, we appreciate you. But the question would be best answered by the national president of the Alumni Association, the national president. But just to lend my voice to it, I think to the best of my knowledge, the alumni body have tried their best in ensuring that their impact is felt on campus. If I'm not mistaken, at least there are some projects that were done by individuals, alumni body, individuals set on campus. Let me give example of an individual that is doing wonderful inside the Polytechnic Ibadan as an alumni. Apostle Remi Awode, the owner of Chemistar Group that produce fine coat paint. He has been sponsoring best students in chemistry department for the past, if I'm not mistaken, 10 years. Any best graduating student has automatic employment. He has a structure that is built on campus for the benefit and for the use of the student. And some other people like that has project on campus. But in all sincerity, the best person to be in the position to answer that question, as His Excellency will appreciate, is the national president. But in generality, what we are saying is His Excellency should just help us. It's just help us. If I should explain to you critically what the remaining would do to the institution, it's going to be a kind of setback. It's going to be a kind of rebirth. You are going to start on a new note that is going to cost so many things. It's going to cost so many things. We know what the economic situation of this country is. We know how much His Excellency is trying to finance the overhead cost of the institution. And that's one of the reasons why we are saying renaming might cost the state more. Why don't we develop on what we have, rejuvenize what we have, and make it better? That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, if you move on to one of the second questions the governor asked, and indirectly asking what your reasons are for not wanting the name change, and saying that he hopes when they are compiling their reasons, Article THE will not be the only or the first on the list. So if the governor eventually remains adamant to rescinding his decision and says, yes, this new name stands, Omololu Olunloyo Polytechnic Ibadan, would you want him to still use the Article THE on that name?
Thank you, sir. I think the matter goes beyond the Article D.
Okay.
It goes beyond the Article D. Let me give an instance. In Oyo State alone, we have about, if I'm not mistaken, we have about 6 polytechnics. In those days, Polytechnic Ibadan used to be the mother of them all, where they were campuses. So Poly Ibadan is feeding them students. But now they have standalone. Ibarapa Polytechnic has standalone. The Okiogun Polytechnic has standalone. So giving the Polytechnic Ibadan a stressful work in getting students into the institution. Let me give an instance of what I mean. Every student from Ibarapa zone we want to go to Erua Polytechnic, Adeshegun Ogundoyin Polytechnic. Every student from Okeogun will prefer going to the Okeogun Polytechnic. And every student from Ogbomoso axis will also prefer going to Federal Polytechnic Ayede. Now imagine the only polytechnic that is in Ibadan. It's so difficult for us to get to this institution. The only way by which we are still managing to have enough students is through that legacy of the name, the Polytechnic Ibadan. Majority of the people outside of this state prefer their students, their wards, to come and experience the legacy that has been created. Majority of the people that graduated direct engineering in this country today as one part or the other from the Polytechnic Ibadan. That's the legacy. So if you rename the institution, you are bringing back, you are saying, okay, we want to restart the school. It will reduce the numbers of students coming to this place, because majority will be finding it difficult. Where is Omololu? Which one is Omololu? You will now be in a dilemma by saying, it's the former Polytechnic Ibadan. Majority of other schools outside of this state believe the Polytechnic Ibadan is a school because of the monumental development that is happening on this campus. All glory to God, all glory to His Excellency, the Governor, for the impact. But we also don't want him to stress himself so much, because if you listen very well to his speech during the inaugural meeting of the Government Council Board, you will hear that he said he knew that there are shortfall in the subvention of the institution that they are going to have to. That means if you are restarting, what you are going to, assuming you are adding just 10,000 naira before, if you restart, what you are going to, you'll be adding, will times 10 of what you have been adding, because the rate of inflow of students into the institution would drastically reduce.
All right.
Because many people will be wondering, where is Omololu? Which one is Omololu?
All right, Mr. Adigun, quick one. Lastly, before I let you go. Now, if the governor of Oyo State decides not to change that name back to the Polytechnic Ibadan and decides to stick with the name Omololu Olunloyo, what would be the position of the Alumni Association?
Well, thank you so much. I think I said in one of your interviews with me before that the governor is the CEO of Oyo State. He has the right to do whatever he feels is the best for the state. We cannot fight His Excellency. We cannot, we can't say he cannot do whatever he wishes. But we are rather appealing that this is a legacy of over 50 years that we want him to protect. And because he's a listening governor, because he's not an autocratic governor, we know that he's going to listen to our yearnings and he's going to do our bit. Sincerely, I so much trusted His Excellency to that level.
So you are very optimistic that the governor would yield to your request. But I'm saying, what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't and says, yes, we're still changing the name? Since you don't have a superior argument, he says, okay, we're not changing the name back to the Polytechnic Ibadan. It will be the Omololu Olunloyo Polytechnic. What then will be the stand of the alumni?
So be it. To me personally, so be it. It's the governor. So be it. So be it.
All right. Thank you for speaking with us this morning on the agenda. That's Adigun Ajetola, the chairman. Yes, the chairman, the Polytechnic Alumni Ibadan branch. Thank you for speaking with us this morning. All right, moving on the agenda this morning. You listen to him now, John. He seemed to resolve to fate if nothing happens, if nothing changes from the end of the government.
What else could he do? Just to appeal to the governor. But again, you see, those arguments are not very strong arguments. That the university, the Polytechnic is going to start afresh. Starting what afresh?
Other schools have also changed their name. Ogun State University was changed to...
Nothing is starting afresh. It's just, you see...
It's just a change of nomenclature.
You know, in philosophy, we call something... appeal to emotions and appeal to pity. Abaculum abdominem. When you are appealing to people's pity and appeal to people's emotion, it's possible. They should appeal to the governor. But when we say that, why did the government take that decision at the first instance? They want to imprint the legacy of the late former governor on the sand of time. So if we have an illustrious son who had done so well for the state and for the Western region, I don't think there's anything wrong in imprinting his effort on the sand of time.
But there are other monuments within that institution that would have been...
That's the reason why it has to be done that way, because that man had served the region and the state. So, and with that capacity. So if you are saying it will change, is it going to change the curriculum? Is it going to change the output of the kind of students that are being churned out? Is it going to stop courtism? Is it going to stop truancy in school and all of what is happening within the Polytechnic Ibadan? Is it going to curb the vices there?
Would it increase the subvention for the school?
Again, that would not even affect subvention or whatever. But again, you see, whether it will reduce student influx into school, I don't think it's correct, because that school is flooded with students. It's flooded with students. They have all manner of programs. So it will not affect it in any. I think it will not affect it in any way. But again, since our governor is a listening governor, as he has said, he has acknowledged, the conversation and the dialogue should continue, and superior agreement should be allowed to prevail, and let's allow peace, because without peace, development is not in view.
Without peace, development is not in view. Before we call it a wrap on today's edition of the agenda, John, today is the 15th day in the month of July 2025. Well, it reminds me of the day back in history when the Biafra War ended, when there was no victor, no vanquished. Well, one message for Nigerians when it comes to unity in ethnicity and religious diversity.
We are better together as a people. We are better together. You can't imagine the benefit we have by harnessing our diversities. You can't imagine it. I mean, we are better together. So we all must promote unity, promote tolerance, promote oneness. Whatever you believe as your religion is your personal, private business. Let's allow the space, our civic space, to for tolerance to grow, for unity to grow. We are better together as a people.
We are better together as a people. For me, let's put hands together to build a great nation. When we pee together, it foams at once. It's an evil adage. Let's keep this conversation going. Do follow us on all our social media platforms, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. The handle is at Dominion Broadcasts. On the app X, it is at Dominion Casts. You can visit our website at www.dominion.org.ng, www.dominion.org.ng. My name is Chike Ubogo. Happy holidays, stay positive, and stay out of trouble.